What is the Grape Explorer doing today? Well, we've come to St Emilion to visit a family that owns Chateau Laniote.
Yes, yeah.
And this is Arnaud, whose family owns the business.
Yes, for many generations, because it's this estate in my family since 1821.
1821?
So my kids, 9 9.
Wow.
And we are a Greek classifiers, but you know, most now belong to big companies. Bank, Asians and Chinese groups, okay? And this classification, 1969.
What goes into trying to become Grand Cru Classés?
But for every 10 years, in first, there is a blind testing, a tasting of the last 10 different vintages to see you keep or you lose your classification. So, tasting in first, the terroir, if you have a good terroir, and if you do promotion of your wine abroad and in France, and the price also and so on. So, big combination. But in first, the wine. And if your wine is good, the last 10 different vintages, you can keep your classification. Okay?
Now,
you can be classified.
Now, there's such a thing as demotion as well.
Yeah.
If you don't, I guess, abide by all of the rules of how Grand Cru Classé is actually established,
yeah.
You can actually lose this.
Yes, of course, you can lose the classification for 10 years more. So the price decrease and the price of the hectare decrease also. So it's very pity, but if you try to do a good one every year, you keep your classification.
Now, is there like a governing body that decides who is Grand Cru Classé?
Yes, in fact, there are two teams. One to test, only to test the wine. Another to go in the road, to have a look on the soil, you do in the field. If you receive people, if you have kind with the people, you go abroad for... So two different teams to check your estate, and during 1 year or 18 months. Okay.
So, in this classification, when was the first classification started?
In St Emilion, 1956.
1956. That was the year I was born.
Yes, bad year.
It was a bad year because but in 1956 they had a severe frost, which actually wiped out a lot of the vineyards.
Yeah.
It's amazing that they actually would start a classification in one of the worst vintage years.
Yeah.
So, and what was the reason of the classification? Just to make people make better wine?
Yes, of course. But after the second try was in 1969, and the first one was in 86, sorry, and now every 10 years.
Right.
Every 10 years, but in Médoc. I like one from Médoc. But the classification 1855.
Correct.
But there is no, it's the same.
Right.
It's the same, no change.
Now, just to give people an understanding, Pomerol has no classification.
No classification.
Right.
It's very small. It's a 700 hectare.
Correct.
But St Emilion 5,000 hectare for 1,000 estate vineyards.
Right.
So bigger.
And in St Emilion they have 3 classifications.
Yes. You have the first Greek classified groves, A, B, about 18 or 19 Chateau. Greek classifiers as Laniote, about 62 or 64, and after you have only Grand Cru or only St Emilion. But the first and the second category is about 5-6% of this appellation. You speak about terroir, in fact, sandy soil, clay and limestone. And this area, in my different plots, only clay and limestone.
And what is your varietals that you have in your vineyard?
In varieties? Yes, we have 75% Merlot, and the rest Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon.
And Cabernet Franc is an interesting grape now because it needs a long growing season.
Yes.
So when you have a great Cabernet Franc year, the wine obviously benefits from the wine becomes a little more stronger.
Yes, of
because
course.
Because Merlot is a little softer.
Yes, so you can, Pomerol, more Merlot, 80-90%. This area, St Emilion, 60, 75, 80, so we can age perhaps 10-15 years. Perhaps for good vintage, 20 years. But you drink very old wine from Médoc, you can keep 30 years, 40 years, because Cabernet.
And just another quick question, what is now exporting, and of course that's why we're here, because we don't see your wine in the US market, although we would like to see more, and I'm sure you would like to see more, so, and that's the whole idea here, we're trying to educate people on the small producers of St Emilion that are maybe not as notable as Cheval Blanc or Pavie, Chateau Pavie or something. Yeah.
But you know, in this area, they have already 12 acres. But I told you, for 10, 15 years, last year, many Greek classical belong to big companies. So big company bought 1, 2, 3 estates.
Especially Cheval Blanc.
And Cheval Blanc and Soutard, La Mondiale, big assurance. So they buy 2 or 3 and they
Combine.
yes, big estate.
So maybe eliminate like the one estate and just maximum to get a bigger production.
Yes, for having 40, 50 hectare in St Emilion. So 40, 50 hectare is a big estate in St Emilion.
So you're seeing less and less families who have had 4 generations, 5 generations today.
It's finished.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
so
finished.
it's becoming less and less.
Yes, that's true.